You're like, and I'm like, well, why was that question harder than the first one? And I think the reason why is because a lot of barbecue teams, whether it's 2, 3, or 4 people, they all seem to think that, okay, this is my role, this is this person's role, this is this person's role. So there's really nobody in charge. We all have our own parts that we lead. And it's perfect timing when they answer with that question. And I'm like, listen, somebody's got to be the leader, right?
Yep.
And somebody's got to be the one that organizes everything, and everybody's got different personalities and organizational skills and all these different things. And the reason why I'm passionate about this topic is because let's say you do have a team of 4 members, that means you've got 4 different ways of thinking, 4 different ways of wanting to do things, and sometimes that just does not work, which can then mess with your chemistry of your team and your flow and your efficiency and all the things that you need to get done. And then when you get to the results, there's finger pointing going on. Well, he didn't get he slept over an hour or whatever it may be.
Yeah, take your pick. The other thing that gets interesting in those discussions, and usually at a class you'll see this, somebody has the pit or the pits, somebody has the trailer. So, like, not everybody is bringing the same stuff to the table. And so sometimes you get people that maybe should be the leader, because they're the most organized, but because they're not bringing the cooker or they're not bringing X, they feel like they shouldn't lead. And so you've got the person that maybe brings the pit who doesn't know how to cook on it very well. And I've seen that too, where it's like, let this person run the show and you'll be in a better spot.
Right. Well, and that's where the problems create right there. So now you've got tension, you've got finger pointing, you got all these things. Versus a solo team, because I get asked all the time, "What, Ferg, you're cooking solo?" Yeah, I'm cooking solo. I mean, my wife goes with me, my mom goes with me, and they all know their role. And I know that, well, most people that sounds bad, but the cool thing about that is when that person knows what their role is, that allows me as the leader, whoever it may be, as the pitmaster, to do what they do best, right? And that's run the cook. And when you have that one person in control of all of those items, it's a lot less likely for things to go wrong or things to be forgotten or whatever it may be.
I typically, I wouldn't say I cook solo. Kim and I cook, and what I always like to say is I'm the framer, she's the finisher.
I like that.
Right?
Yeah.
So and that's how we work around each other, and we have a flow in the trailer. But I definitely don't want to do it without her. Like, my cook is off if I'm having to manage some of the little detailed things that she usually manages. Correct. Like, I'm great at getting the trailer there. I'm great at getting the pits level and, like, cleaned out and plugged in. I am not great at getting the right spices into the cabinets where I expect them to be.
Yeah.
So then when I get there and the tub isn't set up right, like, my finisher does. Like, she puts everything in the right spot so that when I walk in, it's zen
right
time. It's zen time.
Yeah, and that's what Marcy does too, and my mom. I mean, they have things ready for me when I need them. It's like, scalpel, and boom,
Yeah.
It's right there,
Doctor,
ready
doctor,
for me,
doctor.
Yeah, and when I'm cooking solo, like I have the last couple of weeks, it's that does it creates more work for me. But I guess that whole psychology of cooking by yourself versus having 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, some teams have up to 8 people, you know what I mean? And you have to manage all that when you're trying to actually win a contest and you're managing a whole group of people. And so I just think it's a very interesting topic for people that are getting into competition barbecue. If you're thinking about doing that, we've got a bunch of friends and we want to get together and make a team. Just think about all of those different things you want to consider when you're doing that, and how you're gonna frame that, how that's gonna look when you actually show up. Because when you actually show up, boots on the ground, it's a totally different story.
And the key is have a leader, have a role, and that is the right way to do that. Well, we want to thank David Gafford again for joining us today. Check him out and subscribe to his content at thebarbecuelab.com. And don't forget to head on over to atbbq.com. Pick up some of our sauce of the month, Plowboy's Hothead Barbecue Sauce. We'd like to thank you all for joining us. For T-Bone, Fergie, and myself, thanks for listening, and we will keep the pits lit until next time here on Barbecue Radio Network.
Every Barbecue Radio Network show is archived and available through your favorite podcast platform each and every Thursday.
Grill, Holstein Manufacturing. You have a better recipe for when you grill. Better ingredients, better cuts of meat, and because you're using a grill from Holstein Manufacturing, well, a better grill. You take grilling seriously, and at Holstein Manufacturing, we make a serious grill. Find your new grill now at HolsteinMFG.com.
We build a grill, Holstein Manufacturing.
Holstein Manufacturing, we build the grill.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
A heads up before something bad happens.
You should not send that text.
Uh-oh. Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can reverse prediabetes and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Throwback.
I remember. Kiss.
Advertise with the experts. If your business serves Southwest Missouri, Northeast Oklahoma, or the entire state of Kansas, then MyTown Media's got you covered with 17 radio stations of all different formats, including country, today's hits, top 40s, classic rock, news talk, sports talk, and more. You have an impactful message that the world needs to hear, and these formats attract listeners. Visit mytown-media.com and fill out the Contact Us form.
Mostly sunny today with a high of 77. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 47. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high of 63. Weather this hour is brought to you by Comfort Pro. Earn up to $800 in rebates and tax credits when you upgrade your old system today. With MyTown Media Weather, I'm Monica Watson.
April is Safe Digging Month. Before you dig for any reason, to plant a tree or even put in fence posts, call 811 to find out if there are underground utilities below. Calling 811 2 business days before you need to dig helps you avoid damaging buried utilities. Best of all, 811 is a free service. Be safe and call 811 first. A safety message from Midwest Energy, a customer-owned cooperative making energy work for you.
Nothing beats the classic taste and goodness of Earth Grain's 100% whole wheat bakery bread. Earth Grain's unique recipe combines whole grains with the old-fashioned taste of brown sugar and honey, creating a delicious whole grain bread that will appeal to your entire family. And with 18 grams of whole grain per slice, it's good for them too. Earth Grain's breads, baking our best for you.